Welcome to the exciting and very profitable world of body wrapping. Whether you are opening a new location, doing only the body wrap, or adding the body wrap to an existing business, it will be a very successful and highly profitable venture for you. We would like to begin this training tape with the technician in the wrap area getting ready to prepare the vitamins and the minerals for the opening of the day. The next segment of our tape will be the technician doing the actual preparation of the vitamins and the minerals before the day's business begins. This is Melissa. She's the wrap technician. She is taking a small bottle of the vitamin and mineral and putting it into the 1-gallon container. As you can see, it's a plastic jug that's very easily attainable in your local grocery store. She is now going to take the activator, the larger of the bottles. She will now take 2 of the small scoops of the activator and place that into the 1-gallon container. As you can see, remember, only 2 scoops, level scoops per gallon. That is the activator bottle right there. Okay, that's the larger of the 2, and it has a label on it. She has now filled the gallon container and will vigorously shake it for at least 15 seconds. If you have hot water available, put hot water in. If not, cold water will be all right. After shaking the container for 15 seconds, she is now pouring it into the heating unit. Note that the heating unit is now turned on. Never turn the heating unit on before you have the liquid in there. Remember that, that's very important. Melissa is now putting the elastic medical wraps into the heating unit. Some people call these ACE bandages, but the official name is elastic medical wraps. In the morning when you first come in, you may want to mix 2 gallons of the vitamins and minerals to cover the bottom of the tank appropriately. And now, let us go ahead and move on into the phone presentation.
Good morning, Body Perfect. This is Susan. May I help you? Oh, you'd like to know about the body wrap. Okay, let me explain a little bit about it. When you come into the salon, you will be measured and then wrapped in elastic medical wraps. These are very similar to ACE bandages and are soaked in a very warm vitamin and mineral solution. After you are wrapped, you will slip into our 2-piece sauna suit. This is to help keep the wrap from drying out. You will then lay down for 1 hour. After that hour is up, we will re-measure you and see how many inches you have lost. We guarantee that you will lose between 5 and 15 inches on your first total wrap. The inches will remain off as long as you maintain or drop below your standard weight. After you leave the salon, we ask that you drink 6 to 8 large glasses of water in the next 12 hours. This will help to flush your system by a natural process of the poisons, toxins, and impurities that the wrap has broken up. A temporary water loss? No, with our process you don't perspire, so therefore this is no water or moisture loss. As a matter of fact, if it were a water loss, we would never suggest that you drink 6 to 8 glasses of water as we did earlier. How many inches will you lose and how many times do you have to come? Well, we're all different. We've been eating and drinking different things. We all have variations of fat cells as well. We don't know how well you will respond to the body wrap, but we do know that you will lose 5 to 15 inches on your first total body wrap. We guarantee this or you don't pay. Normally, by your 3rd visit, you will double the inch loss you received on your first visit. Okay, would you like to set up your appointment for 8 or is noon better for you? Okay, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Melissa and I'm a wrap technician. As you can see, our customer Marcy has been taken to a wrap room. She has changed into her bathing suit and we are now ready to begin the measuring process. I'm going to begin with the upper arm measurement. I measure the upper arm at the largest part, usually called the ball of the arm. Be sure not to pull your tape too tightly, just gently lay it across the skin. I make a mark above the tape with a magic marker or ballpoint pen, and the mark will stay even after the wrap so that you can remeasure and get an accurate measurement. Next, I measure the lower part of the arm, which is 2.5 inches above the elbow. Make sure your tape measure is not twisted, and be sure to use your mirror. Once again, I've made a mark above the tape measure and recorded on my measuring card. Now I am measuring the left side of her body, the upper arm once again at the largest part, usually called the ball of the arm. And the lower arm, 2.5 inches above the elbow. Next, we move on to the back measurement. Be sure to ask your customer to inhale and then exhale to get an accurate measurement. The back measurement is taken directly under the armpits. Be sure the tape measure is straight across and not twisted. Next, I move on to the midriff measurement, which is taken directly under the breasts. Once again, you must ask your customer to inhale and exhale to ensure a proper measurement. Next, we go to the upper waist measurement, which is taken approximately 2.5 inches below the midriff. Remember to inhale and exhale. And once again, use your mirror to be sure that the tape measure is not twisted or crooked. Now I go to the waist measurement. To find the waist, ask your customer to bend to one side. The waist measurement is taken at the fold of the skin. Marcy's bending to one side, and I take the measurement wherever her skin fold is. Next comes the tummy measurement. I take the tummy measurement at the largest part of the stomach. Once again, check to see if your tape measure is tight or too twisted or crooked. Next, I move on to the upper hip measurement. This is taken at the pubic hairline. Remember to make your marks with your ballpoint pen or magic marker and record each measurement on your measuring card. Now I move on to the lower hip measurement, which is taken directly under the buttocks. I mark this measurement on the side of her legs. Next, we're moving on to the upper thigh measurement. Measure straight across approximately 1 inch below the crotch. This is usually the largest part of the leg also. Now we move on to the mid-thigh measurement. Measure this approximately 2.5 inches below the upper thigh measurement. Next, we are moving on to the lower thigh measurement. Measure approximately 3 inches above the middle of the kneecap. Now I'm measuring her knee, which is taken straight across the largest part of the knee. Now I've moved on to her calf measurement, which is taken at the largest part of the calf. And now the ankle measurement. This is taken just a bit above the ankle bone. You do want to get some of the fatty tissue around the ankle. Now I've moved on to Marcy's other leg. Once again, this is the upper thigh measurement. Taken 1 inch below the crotch, usually the largest part of the thigh. Now I'm doing the mid-thigh measurement, which is taken approximately 2.5 inches below the upper thigh. Now we've moved on to the lower thigh measurement, which is taken 3 inches above the middle of the kneecap. Be sure to double check if you have any discrepancies. Now I'm measuring straight across Marcy's middle of her kneecap to get the knee measurement. Next we move on to the calf measurement, which is the largest part of the calf. And now the ankle measurement, taken just above the ankle bone. And now we're ready to start wrapping. Be sure that your wraps are at the correct temperature. You want to have them as warm as possible without burning your customer. Also be careful not to squeeze your wraps. You don't want to lose any of the solution. Just gently shake them over the heating unit. I begin at the legs. Start with your wrap with the roll on the outside, rolling in and toward the heart. Be sure not to overlap too much. Wrapping firmly but not too tight. Be sure to ask your customer if they're comfortable during the wrap, or if the wraps are too warm or too cool for them. As I move up on the thigh, you can ask your customer to help you a bit, placing their hand in any area where the wrap may seem to roll. I want to wrap as quickly as possible to keep the wraps as warm as possible. As you can see, I'm wrapping in and toward the center of her body for circulation purposes, covering her with a double layer of wraps, firmly but not too tight. Get as high up on your hip as you can. When tucking the wraps, be sure to tuck the end all the way inside of another wrap. You don't want to have your wraps coming undone in the middle of your wrap. Now I'm starting on the other leg, wrapping in and toward the heart, being careful not to overlap too much. We want to get the wrap up high on her thigh. Now I'm going to put another layer on top of that. Be sure to wrap as quickly as possible to seal in the heat. Now I proceed to put on the sauna pants. This is to keep in all the moisture and heat. Our sauna suits come in 4 different sizes and 2 colors. Next, I'm going to proceed on to the skirt. Ask your customer to put her legs together. Start straight across the front, wrapping straight across the back, and then I use a crisscross method for extra support, angling up, then straight across the back, and angling down, and straight across the back again. Then angle up again, and in this case I've tucked her back in the back. Now we add another wrap, starting off straight across and then doing our crisscross method for extra support. When you run out of wrap, simply grab another one and do another layer on top of your last layer. You want to be sure to have your wrap as neat and secure as possible. This will make your customer comfortable and also make it much easier for you. Here you can see I'm adding another wrap, crisscrossing upward, angling back down and straight across the back. And all this time I'm moving up toward the top of her body. Many women will prefer not to have their breasts wrapped. That's fine, or they can have them wrapped. You just want to be sure not to wrap them too tightly. Now I'm going to show you how to wrap the back. We go over the shoulder. If the wrap is too hot, you can fan the heat off. Now you can see I've gone over Marcy's shoulder, under the arm, back over the opposite shoulder, and under that arm. When you come to the end of your wrap, simply tuck it in anywhere that's appropriate. Now I'm going to do another layer. In this case, Marcy's going to have her breasts wrapped. I wrap straight across, using any excess to cover her back again. Over the shoulder, under the arm, back over the shoulder, and tucking in at the end of the wrap. Now we're moving on to her arms, the last part to wrap. The arms only require one layer. And once again, any excess you can use to cover her back. Now I'm wrapping her other arm. Once again, using only one layer. Using the excess to cover her back or any other part that needs more layers. Now I'm going to help Marcy into the top of her sauna suit. Be sure to leave all valuables in the customer's purse and ask them to take them with her please. These are the footies. They're an optional item you can purchase through the corporate office. And you can also see our drip tray there. You can use that as the top to cover the heating unit or as a tray to stand on to catch any excess solution. Now Marcy is ready to relax in her Chase Lounge or move on to the toning tables.
Okay. As you can see, the girl has now been body wrapped and she's very happy, and the next move, of course, would be to unwrap the girl after she has been laying down for 1 hour. Now, if you have just a body wrap salon by itself, then of course the lady will lie down for 1 hour and she can take a nap or read a magazine or talk to some of the other customers. If in fact you have the toning tables or some of the passive exercise machines, then of course the customer is going to go on those machines. And if by some chance you do have the toning tables, the inch loss will be very much more noticeable, although the body wrap by itself has done very, very well with our company now for 9 years. Okay, there are a few things that we'd like to just kind of go back over and recover. Number one is on the additional script, and that's when the customer is calling in potentially and wanting to know what is the body wrap and what is it all about and that type of thing. There are a few things here that you may want to remember. Number one, be sure to tell the woman that call in that they are wrapped in total privacy and that they're wrapped in their underclothes. So they want to bring an extra pair with them, as the original pair may become slightly moist. The mineral solution does have a very hard time penetrating a bathing suit, and that's the reason that we, of course, use the bathing suit for the training tape. In reality, the women are wrapped in their underclothes because the vitamins and minerals can very easily penetrate. Men, of course, are wrapped in their basketball shorts or bathing suit. And the only people that we actually don't wrap are pregnant women, for obvious reasons, people with phlebitis, which is blood clots in the legs, or people with recently unhealed surgery or open wounds. If the person has high or low blood pressure problems, we simply wrap them loosely. We like to start a person out with 2 wraps the first week within a 5-day period, such as the first wrap on a Monday and then the second wrap on a Thursday or possibly a Friday, or maybe a Tuesday and a Saturday. In other words, 2 or 3 days in between, and again, 2 wraps the first week. This will give them some time to lose a pound or 2 in between wraps. And then what we like to do is wrap them just once a week after that. It really is a nice situation if you can sell the customer a series of 5 wraps, which we call a package. And that is really the goal of the people doing the wrap or the wrap technician. The reason being is because it does give the customer some time to lose a pound or 2 in between. It does take up a total of 30 days by doing 2 wraps the first week and then 1 wrap each week thereafter. And these packages really and truly are going to help the customer. And they're going to see a nice inch loss result from that. The other thing is that the inches did not come on these people in the cellulite overnight. Therefore, when the customer is being wrapped, they're almost always going to grab one portion of their body, the hips, the thighs, or the tummy, and ask the wrap technician, how many times do I need to come in to have this taken care of? It's best for the wrap technician to say, well, Mary Ann, these inches or cellulite did not occur overnight. And usually the person will laugh, and then you tell them, therefore, we really don't think that they're going to come off on your first visit. And we're all different. We've all been eating different things and drinking different things. So therefore, we know one thing for sure. Today on your first total body wrap, you will lose 5 to 15 inches. So let's see how you respond, and then we'll go from there. But Mary Ann, we do offer a package for those who are serious, and that is 5 wraps for X amount of dollars. And this is the seed that we like to plant when the customer is being wrapped. And therefore, down the road, when the wrap is over with, this is an excellent time for them to ask you, what was the package that you had mentioned to me prior to that? Okay? Next, let's go on and talk about the measuring. We measure the customer on every other visit. In other words, first, third, and fifth. Okay? And you always want to have the same person do the measuring and the wrapping on those visits. On the odd visits, or I should say the even, like the second and the fourth, if the potential or the initial wrapper is not there that day that wrapped them and measured them, that's okay, because they're not measured on the second and fourth. But it's very important that the same person do the measuring, because everybody measures differently, and we certainly don't want to have any mistakes. Be sure that before you start actually wrapping or even practicing that you wash your elastic medical wraps in cold water. We use ivory flakes, and we normally use 2 tablespoons. You'll have to just kind of use your own discretion and see how it goes, but you don't want to have the water to be very, very soapy or sudsy, okay? The main thing is that you want to get the wraps clean, but you don't want a lot of soap suds in there. Always use cold water. Very, very important. Mild cycle, and be sure to never put your wraps in a dryer. Putting your elastic wraps in a dryer will destroy the fabric, and it will also cause the elasticity to be ruined. So remember, always wash them in cold water and never put them in a dryer. Okay? A couple of the other things that we'd like to cover here are that practice, practice, and practice. That is the best way to learn this business, and that's the only way to learn the business. The other thing is that no matter what size town you're in, small town, big town, whatever, you can be very successful. The prices that are being charged for body wrap around the country are ranging between $25 and $100 per wrap. It is entirely up to you. Remember again, the idea is to sell a package of 5 for a discounted rate. And again, population and the state that you're in and the economy have very little to do with your success, because we have locations where there's a lady in one room and she's wrapping maybe 10 people a day. We have locations that are literally wrapping 50, maybe even 100 people a day. Thank you very much for your time. I want to wish you all the luck in the world. If you have any questions or anything at all, just contact your representative. Thank you.